Alright, so once again, ladies and gents, this is our co-main event. It's sponsored by DS Spywear. It's an amateur bantamweight championship bout. Introducing your fighters, first of all, in the blue corner. Standing at 5'10" tall, he's an MMA record of 6 wins, 5 losses and 1 draw. From Scotland, representing the Grip House, he weighed in at 61 kilograms. Please put your hands together for Ellis Pilkington. Facing him across the cage, it's his opponent, your current bantamweight champion. He stands at 6 foot tall. He's an MMA record of 5 wins, 1 loss and no draws. From England, representing Blade and Grapplers, he weighed in at 61.5 kilograms. Please put your hands together for Ethan Wilson. We schedule for 5 3-minute rounds. Your referee, Phil DeFries. The action is about to begin.
So Harry, with this, these two guys have met before. For both athletes, so for Ethan, how important is it for him not only to get this win back, but then not get overzealous, get over the top? And equally for Ellis, how much is it important for him to really put a stamp on this?
Yeah, it would be a huge feather in the cap of Ellis Pilkington to have beaten Ethan Wilson twice. Ethan Wilson is a fantastic, fantastic fighter. And for Ethan, he cannot get thrown off his game. He needs to just fight how he typically fights.
Looking to tie these legs up, as you say, looking to fight how he typically fights, and this is that way. Heavy wrestling, heavy grappling prowess of the Blade and Grapplers, man. But Ellis Pilkington, like you say, certainly no slouch on the ground with the likes of Dean Riley and Fraser Patterson in his corner.
Yeah, Grip House, fantastic gym, well established. Was actually training there quite recently. Great sparring session, you know, like good session structure, a lot of good work done.
Good takedown defense there from Pilkington, but relentless is the champ. Ethan Wilson here on the search for it.
Yeah, obviously Ethan fighting out of Blade and Grapplers with the excellent Patrick Tucker in his corner, his head coach. And then also he'll do a lot of his sparring at Ace MMA, so he'll be sparring the likes of the Cage Warriors flyweight champion, Saj Hack.
Another man on that 181 card.
Another one. This takedown attempt looked better, beautiful work.
And there it is with over half the round left to work. Ethan Wilson gets that takedown he was looking for.
Yeah, he managed to get such so much power on the trip. He almost thrown Pilkington's legs off and ended up just straight going into side control. Beautiful work.
What does Pilkington need to be doing from here then?
I mean, he needs to be looking to frame, to underhook, to maybe get his guard back, or maybe get on some kind of get up. But it is only round 1 in a 5-round fight. You can't completely shoot your wad and empty the tank trying to escape. That's a gambling term. Why are you laughing? Trying to escape. But saying this, Wilson's got a good bite on this arm triangle.
Almost out of nowhere, so long as well for the weight.
Yeah, he seems to be getting like choking pressure from half guard. Like you see this from guys like Islam Makhachev, who's an absolute unit with a tree trunk as a back. But for someone like Pilkington got out, but that was close. Wilson had a good bite on that submission attempt.
In full mount now is Ethan Wilson with 15 seconds left here in this opening round. Looking to rain down some big strikes. Looking to really make his mark on this opening round.
Pilkington getting on that underhook, but just kind of damage mitigation at this point. I think, you know, he is a veteran, so he kind of accepted that that round wasn't his. Just didn't quite put himself at risk trying to get up towards the end of the round, but Wilson managing to convert it to a dangerous position that Pilkington had to fight hard to get out of.
How much does that show the experience then of the likes of Ellis Pilkington to know, look, I'm probably around down here, I'm not going to do anything stupid, I'm just going to tie things up. Yes, I've dropped around, I've got 4 to work with.
I mean, it is the kind of thing that you can't really train in someone. You just need like that competition experience builds and develops those senses. If you can try and tell someone and explain that to someone all you like, but until someone's actually been in the cage a bunch of times, like Pilkington has, you're not going to actually know it.
Here we go then, second of 5 3-minute rounds, should we need them. Back into striking early doors here.
Pilkington coming out more aggressive. Wilson landing that left body kick, obviously southpaw orthodox. That left body kick lines up on the liver side of Pilkington. And another beautiful takedown from Wilson. Pilkington doing a good job of tying the head up and getting his butterfly hooks in. But Wilson passing beautifully with that underhanded grip on the shin.
Of course, any win means a lot to you, but you've got to feel like if you can get this back off Ellis Pilkington, it would mean a lot. And he steps straight into mount there with a lot of time to work here. Yeah, does our champion Ethan Wilson have?
2 whole minutes to work. And a solid shot, going for the gift wrap. Don't often see this in MMA, but it is a really, really strong position. Pilkington doing a good job of not allowing it.
What do you want Pilkington to do from here, sorry?
I mean, it's tough because Wilson is kind of using Pilkington's defensive responses to advance his position or to threaten submissions. It's like Pilkington does need to get up. He needs to get on his underhook and get up, or he needs to re-guard and sweep. But when he does it, he has to be perfect. He has to mind his P's and Q's, or else he could end up giving up his back.
And this is not where you want to be. 70 seconds left here. Ethan Wilson with the body triangle tied up now as well. Minute to go.
Body triangle tied up.
How much does that body triangle take it out of you as well? While you're trying to defend everything else, you've got somebody squeezing the life out of you with the body triangle.
It takes it out of both fighters here. Obviously, Wilson using that hook on the back of the leg of Pilkington can take a little bit, make it less of a physical squeeze for him. That was beautifully done by Pilkington, where he kicked back to strip the hook, but then Wilson managed to pummel it back in, and Wilson is firing quite hard shots off in this position, and he lets the body triangle go.
Let's go off the body triangle, as you say.
Both fighters land on the break.
But look, we expected a grapple heavy affair, but sometimes that is what can then deliver the highlight reel knockout.
Yeah, and Pilkington, I feel like, probably has felt Wilson use a lot of energy and is getting after him. He's getting on the offensive.
Nice knees to the body there from the Scotsman, looking to fire a kick up high just before the end of the round. And like we say, look, this is one of these fights where it's one tiny mistake can cost you.
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like these have been 2 rounds for Wilson, but Pilkington's not out of the fight. This is again another razor close fight. Despite one fighter winning 100% of the rounds that have happened, it is still razor close. Pilkington as well seemed to be ascending into the fight towards the end of that round. Seemed to be getting on putting his foot on the gas, getting after Wilson a little bit. It's hard to tell how much energy Wilson used in those positions. Wilson is a very strong physical guy as well as a very technical guy. Often this leads to him overwhelming people and mauling them, but sometimes people can survive that.
Just again, another interesting one to note there. Dean Riley, I know he does quite often get in, has what he has to say, then gets out, doesn't hang about in there. But for a few seconds there, Ellis Pilkington was just waiting on Ethan Wilson, just pacing backwards and forwards, staring at him. And was straight back to the same game plan, it looks like, from the champion.
Another solid takedown attempt. Pilkington building up. Again, these could be really clutch exchanges. Wilson managing to get on the arm of Pilkington and pull him down to the mat. Pilkington just freeing his arm, because that wrist ride position could have been really dangerous. He's got an underhook, but Wilson just pressuring in, killing the underhook.
This again, though, as well, that grappling experience comes in. Wilson trying to step over into full mount, but Pilkington doing a good job of just keeping that leg tight.
Yeah, and Wilson being very strong with the near side underhook, a very underrated tool in grappling. BJ Penn was really good with the
And
near
as
side
I say,
underhook.
that steps over to mount.
Yeah, I was going to say, that was a very BJ Penn-esque sequence, using the near side underhook from half guard and pushing the leg with the far side arm to come over in a mount. But Pilkington, again, just hustling constantly, never stopping on his back, never allowing Wilson to get to these fight-finishing positions.
And again, it's him short, sharp shots from the champion, Wilson.
Wilson coming round to the back of Pilkington.
Looking to
Getting
try
on
and
the
fish that
face.
arm underneath. But again, Pilkington doing a good job to get his head straight on the floor there. But Wilson, relentless, the pressure's still on. Looking to tie those legs up, looking to try and secure a mount.
Yeah, both of these fighters are incredibly well-educated, sophisticated grapplers. Both of them making really, really good decisions, and it's very tit for tat. Obviously, Ethan is the one on the offensive, but Pilkington's defense is matching it. This has been a frenetic pace as well. The fact that this hasn't slowed down one bit is ridiculous. Pilkington
Now
on the neck.
Pilkington looking for the neck. And this is what we were saying, just how quickly the tides can turn in this. Gets a snap down as well, does Ellis Pilkington.
Hard to tell what grip he has, whether he's going for an anaconda or a guillotine. Oh, he's gone for the high-risk guillotine. He's on the ninja choke. And Ethan Wilson gets himself out. But Pilkington is just on him again.
Trading big strikes, the pair. Just as fun as it was the first time the two met. Wilson catches a kick, looks to drop to the floor, but Pilkington looking now to take it back instead. 20 seconds left here to go in this round.
Big knee from Pilkington. Obviously, Wilson is on the offensive. You'd argue this is Wilson's round so far still, but the biggest moment, I would argue, or the closest thing, are these ninja choke attempts from Pilkington. This one is much tighter.
Can Wilson beat the buzzer? He can, but again, so close now. That's twice in that round. Pilkington found home for that ninja choke.
Yeah, I feel like Pilkington has a few things that are just about his physicality and about his game that are going to give someone like Ethan Wilson problems. Ethan Wilson, a very physically strong, aggressive grappler. Obviously, that typically dominates people, but it takes a lot of energy. Whereas Pilkington just seems to have infinite cardio. Maybe not the most physical guy, maybe not the strongest guy, but he just seems to never get tired. He seems to constantly be going, and he just seems to have that ability to pull himself out of the fire when he's in these really bad positions. I would say my two rounds to one for Wilson, because you cannot deny that the biggest moment in that last round were the ninja chokes, especially the second one. That second one was ridiculously tight, at least from my position. Ethan might have been fine, but from where I'm sitting, it looked very tight.
Of course, can't say enough as well there. That is the unofficial scorecard, Harry. That is your scorecard while you're sitting here.
Yeah, like obviously I'm not trying to score the fights. I'm trying to watch them and waffle on as they go. But this has been a fantastic fight.
Here we go, the championship rounds. We enter now the fourth of 5 rounds.
Pilkington with that very twitchy, fate-heavy, quite almost like annoying striking style, like a beautiful body shot, but I'm saying that as someone who does this kind of stuff, this kind of methodical pressure with this twitching and these kind of non-committal, not very physical shots that are just finding their way through progressively. Wilson seems to be loading up on his shots, but I feel like Wilson is just biding his time until his next takedown attempt, where he will look to try and get another solid position. Beautiful left hand from Wilson.
Straight in on the single now, Wilson.
Now it is very telling how this first exchange goes in the championship rounds. This first grappling exchange, Pilkington on the neck again. Wilson backing out, but in backing out, he can leave himself a bit vulnerable to that ninja choke, but that was a beautiful little scramble from both men.
And this is a grappler's dream of a fight, is it not?
This is not just this is a mixed martial arts fan's dream of a fight. This is incredible display of mixed martial arts from both men. Unbelievable wrestling, unbelievable jiu-jitsu, unbelievable like MMA-specific scrambling, the clinch, the striking. This is a high-level amateur fight between these two people. You know, Ethan Wilson, a very worthy champion, and Pilkington, a very worthy challenger. And again, Wilson getting this takedown. Can he convert it to a position? Pilkington getting on that.
Straight back up though.
Wilson managing to land a good left hand in that exchange. And another knee from Pilkington, and another one. Beautiful body shot from Pilkington. Can't quite see how well that landed. Wilson back on that kick.
You and your brother, of course, Cage Warriors lightweight champion George Hardwick, know all about them body shots, Harry.
They are very good, but they are especially good against someone trying to take you down, because it's hard for them to change the level underneath the body shot.
Nice knee, and again.
Ethan getting a little bit, I'm not going to use the word desperate, but he's not setting these takedowns up as well as he was earlier in the fight. Pilkington on the neck again. He has a lot more time, and he's on that anaconda.
Looking to tie this on.
This looks really tight.
10 seconds to go here. Can Wilson make it through these 10 seconds? You can see he's breathing heavy.
Pilkington managing to adjust the position. I think this is 2 rounds apiece going into the 5th round. Ethan Wilson winning the first 2 rounds fairly decisively, but then Pilkington coming on strong, particularly with his front headlock attacks, putting a stamp on the last 2 rounds. This is 2 rounds apiece, everything to play for going into the championship round, and look, the final round, sorry.
Whoever takes this will be very much deserving to be crowned either and still or and new, will they not?
Yeah, after what I've seen, both men really should hold their heads high, regardless of the result, regardless of if they walk out of here with the belt or not. But only one can leave with the belt. It is very, very likely on my unofficial scorecards. 2 rounds apiece. Everything is to play for in this final round. Can Ethan Wilson get on the wrestling and get to a solid position? Can Pilkington get his awkward striking and his front headlock going?
Here we go, 3 minutes to go. Straight back on the body shot is Ellis Pilkington.
Yeah, but again, Pilkington's landing good body punches. Wilson has been throwing a solid left kick to the body throughout the fight. Pilkington pressing, Wilson's back to the fence.
I know, look, you said nothing changes, and I guess we'll find out on November 23rd for yourself, but when you enter about as champion, in mindset at all, does that give you more confidence going in?
I mean, for me, I feel like I need to prove it. I still feel like I need to prove myself for some reason, but it's, again, different, a beautiful body shot from Wilson there, but then that was a accidental knee to the head.
Was that not? Seems,
yeah,
but Wilson looks happy to continue.
Beautiful shot from Wilson in the clinch. That was arguably the most solid shot Wilson's landed in a while. But Pilkington getting
back
on that neck
again.
This one looks...
2 minutes to go. Pilkington looking to change his position, but as we say, both men very well versed in the grappling department. Chance of Ethan ringing around the Sunderland Live Arena here.
Yeah, if Ethan can actually convert this into a takedown, he could. Oh, this has been such a close fight. Pilkington.
1 minute 30 to go here. Nice stiff left hand from the champ Wilson, but the challenger Pilkington is still coming forward.
This has been a fantastic, fantastic fight from both fighters. That was a much better takedown attempt, but Wilson, Pilkington doing a good job of framing on the bicep to stop Wilson from being able to lock his hands together. And then this fight is a beautiful study in how to stop takedowns with your front headlock sequences. I've seen many fights where people have...
Tying it up again.
Yeah, I was going to say, I've seen many fights where people have given up.
And look, there's a minute left
this
now.
One is much more tight than the one in the previous round.
A minute left. Pilkington going to look to try and work his legs round and get the finish here.
Pilkington, Wilson keeping that space. This is very tight.
If Pilkington opts to ditch it and take the back instead,
Is he under
That
the
looks
neck?
under the neck.
That looks really tight.
And he
it's
gets a
over.
tap. And Ellis Pilkington is the new Rise and Conquer bantamweight champion. And what a result that is for the Scotsman. And as you said, what a staple that is to beat Ethan Wilson not once but twice.
What an unbelievable performance. Like, Ethan Wilson is a real quality operator, a top-class fighter, a top-class grappler. And Pilkington just...
He has a finish here. Look, so he opted to ditch that initial choke and go to the back.
Yeah, I think where Wilson might have just took that second once the Anaconda got released to just breathe and collect himself because he was in a tight position, Pilkington just got ahead of him, got that hand on the neck, and that was all she wrote. That was a spectacular fight from both fighters, but a fantastic performance from Pilkington.
All right, ladies and gents, please put your hands together for both of our guys inside the cage. What another war we've just witnessed. We have your winner in the final round by way of rear naked choke, and your new bantamweight champion, Ellis Pilkington. Also, please, let's hear for your runner-up, Ethan Wilson. Going to pass it to Jake Smith now from Fight and Talk.
Ellis, the new bantamweight champion, beating Ethan Wilson now twice. Just how good does that gold feel on your shoulder there?
Yeah, I know he's a very skilled fighter, and it's a pleasure to have the only 2 wins over him.
Look, you've come down from Scotland here, but you've brought a crowd down with you. How nice is it to have that support over there?
It's amazing, but I can't really take credit for bringing them. That's my brother and sister and all their mates and my mum and dad, so I can't. It's not off of my back, it's them.
Congratulations on the win, the new bantamweight champion, Ellis Pilkington.